Hi, welcome back to 21 Days to Return to Self-Love. Today we're talking about forgiveness. The reason why we talk about forgiveness as an act of self-love is because when we hold unforgiveness or resentment inside of us, it can act like a cancer. It can have an impact on your physical well-being and mental, emotional health, as well as those around us. When we hold that resentment in our body, it can impact all areas of our life. The other reason why forgiveness is an act of self-love is a lot of times we think about forgiveness as something that we're doing for the other person, for the person that we're forgiving. But in reality, forgiveness is about you. When we hold resentment and unforgiveness inside of us, we are allowing that person or that situation or that event to hold power over us, right? That we're allowing that energy to stay inside of us. Maybe it feels like protection, right? Sometimes we feel like we're protecting ourselves by holding that resentment subconsciously, right? But in reality, you're just doing yourself a disservice. I'm doing myself a disservice when I hold resentment and unforgiveness within me. You probably, the second I said the word forgiveness, something came to mind, or a person came to mind, right? When we think about the word resentment, it's not hard to think about where we hold that and what we hold it towards, right? It's like we have this little box inside of us that the second that word is spoken, we know where that is. We know where that energy is directed. And so for today's practice, I want us to identify that resentment and identify where we hold unforgiveness. What's it towards? What person or what event? It could be an old friend, it could be a partner or an ex-partner, it could be an old boss, right? There are so many ways that we hold unforgiveness and resentment inside of us. Forgiveness isn't about saying it's okay what happened to me or what you did to me, right? Forgiveness is an act of love for yourself, of letting go of that event so that you can move forward, so that you no longer hold that negativity, right? So it's not about saying it's okay. I think a lot of times when someone asks us for forgiveness, our first instinct is to say it's okay. And I want to challenge you to think about that. It's not okay. When you forgive someone, you're not telling them, it's okay what you did to me. It's okay what happened. What you're saying is, I no longer want to hold on to that negativity. That's all you're saying. You're not excusing the behavior, right? You're saying by forgiving someone, by letting go of resentment, you're saying, I want to be over this. I don't want to hold on to this negativity and allow this event that happened to me or this person that hurt me to hold any more power over me. By forgiving, by letting go of resentment, we are letting go of that negativity and allowing ourselves to live more positively. So forgiveness is not saying it's okay. Forgiveness is saying, this happened to me and I'm moving forward. This happened to me, I'm accepting that this thing happened to me, but I no longer want to hold that energy, right? You can protect yourself and still forgive and still let go of resentment. Protecting yourself could mean setting a boundary with that person. It could mean removing that person from your life. It doesn't necessarily mean forgetting that something happened. But forgiveness means I no longer want to hold that negativity in me. So, like I said earlier, I don't think it's something that you probably have to think very hard about, right? When we hear that word resentment or forgiveness, but at least for me, instantly I can identify where it is that I hold that and what events or people that I hold that feeling towards. So the act for today is to first identify where we hold resentment and unforgiveness and why, And then to really be intentional about, I want to let that go. I don't want to feel negative about that anymore. Forgiveness doesn't have to be, it can be silent. It doesn't mean that you have to go and say to that person, I forgive you. Forgiveness isn't for them. Forgiveness is for you. Forgiveness is for you to be able to let go of negativity. It's that simple. I hope that you'll spend some time on this. Really dig deep. Identify those areas that you hold resentment and unforgiveness. Identify the people that you hold it towards, the events that happened. And then give yourself some time to sit in that feeling and let it go. I know it sounds simple. I don't mean that it's easy, right? Forgiveness is not necessarily something that just we decide and forgive, right? But if you're intentional about it, if you really want it, you have the ability, you have the power to let it go and no longer allow that to hold power over you. This is an act of self-love. You are loving yourself by letting go, by saying, I no longer want to hold on to that. I don't want that negativity in my life anymore. I don't want that event or that person to hold power over me anymore. That is an act of self-love. That is you reclaiming your power over the situation and saying, that's it, I'm done. I'm over it. I hope that this is helpful for you. Again, I hope that you will spend some time on this. I don't mean to say that it's instant. For some people it is. For some people you just make the decision and forgiveness and done. And if that's the case, great. And if not, spend some time. Figure out for yourself how you can let go of some of that resentment and unforgiveness, or all of it. And show yourself some love. It's an act of self-love for yourself to let go of that negativity. Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you tomorrow.